welcome back to my channel. So grab yourself a little cup and a drink or whatever you want to get. Sit down and we're just gonna chit chat. So let me get my sip first. All right, so I don't have anything like planned about like certain topics or anything. It's pretty much just one, and I'm just gonna like chit chat with you guys. I thought about like just doing something while I talk to you guys about this, but I decided against it. Don't have the energy to do that. So yeah. Okay, so the hard truth about living abroad and what people really don't talk about is being alone and being lonely. So, there's the, I like my own company type of thing, but there's like you're alone type of lonely. And what I mean by that is, you decide to move abroad, you pack up your stuff, sell everything, and you made the big leap. Congratulations. And super proud of you. You're doing something most people don't do. But the thing, I didn't realize when I moved and never really thought about until it started happening. And as I grew up into an adult, it started to really make sense. And now that I'm, now that I am 31 and, I've been doing this for a while, one of the things I've noticed, and it's more apparent now the older I get, is how lonely you are. And, you go through all these life changes, these hardships and things like that, and you really only have yourself to count on. You leave your family, your friends, and everything living back home, and you move to a country you don't know. Some of you move to a country where the language is not English or, the language that you're used to, and you have to learn a whole new language. You're working at a new job, you're living in a new place, and all these things. Yeah, eventually you will make friends and it gets easier, but at the end of the day, you're on your own. You're by yourself. You have to count on yourself to get these things done. And in the beginning, it wasn't such a big deal because it was such a new thing for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, first time really being in Europe, and this is only temporary because, I originally first moved here as an au pair and I was going to stay for a year and then move back to the States. I never planned on staying as long as I did, never planned on creating roots or family or anything of the sort here. I have made amazing friends, met amazing people throughout my journey here living abroad. And it still doesn't change the fact that you're alone. When I was younger, I mean by like 21 and up, I was partying a lot, doing all the things because I grew up in a small town. I didn't really go off to college like most people did. I stayed in the community college and I worked. I worked a lot. I loved my job that I was working at. I met so many people. They actually inspired me to do the move. But at the end of the day, I didn't really have your typical college experience. And I also really didn't drink like that. All those things I experienced really moving abroad. And so the first few years I was, partying and getting to know people, meeting new people, saying I was a yes person, and not saying that I didn't go through my challenges. I really, really did. It wasn't easy. Moving abroad is not for the faint of heart, but it doesn't get easier. And I ended up living in Germany for 5 years. I lived, breathed, worked, did all the things German. And at one point, certain situations happened that pretty much I threw my white flag and I'm like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I love living here, but it's not worth what I'm going through. I'm moving back to the States, and I packed my bags, and that's exactly what I did. Unbeknownst to me, we had a whole pandemic, a whole pandemic happened and I ended up staying in the States for 3.5 years. Did things go as planned? Not necessarily, but things happen for a reason. I decided to make the decision. I made the decision to move back to Germany back in 2020. What year are we in? We're in 2024, 23, 2022. So sometime in 2020, I decided to move back to Germany, but the borders were closed and I had to wait. And I finally made the decision to move a little over 2 years. It's going to be 2 years. Oh my gosh, I've been here almost 2 years. But anyways, I made the decision to move back to Germany and things have changed. My friends, they got married. I unfortunately was not able to be there because of, the pandemic. But, people got married. Things have changed. People moved away. The city itself has changed. And nothing is as it used to be. And that is difficult, moving back to a place I have so many fond memories of growth and fun and just happy, and things are different. And, certain situations happen, series of events, and I find myself alone again. And being a 31-year-old person where I thought my life was going to be a completely different situation is not what I thought. It's not happening. So I am now back to, I would say, square one as far as like starting all over again. I'm single again. I'm back in Germany and I'm going through different life situations and experiences and different obstacles that honestly, I was like, should I move back? Was this a mistake? Is all this pain and struggle worth it? I sat down and I was talking to my family member and I was just like, man, I miss home. I miss the support, and not dogging on anyone who I have here. I have such a big support system here in Munich, but it still doesn't change the fact that they have lives, they have husbands and families to think about. And I don't have that. I'm not married. I don't have kids. It is just me. And that is a hard pill to swallow at times. Sorry, I move a lot with my hands, so I don't know if the mic is picking this up. But it is a hard pill to swallow when you think you're going to be at a certain stage in your life and you're no longer in that direction. And so now you got to take a step back, regroup, and understand okay, what do I have? I have myself. I'm alone. Not saying I don't have support, but I am alone again and I have to learn to be on my own. And that is difficult. Doing it again. Once you're in the groove of being on your own, that is fine and it's easier. But when you have to start all over again throughout this whole being on your own journey, living abroad, struggling at the stage that I am, it's difficult. It's hard and it's not easy. And the thing is, I've done this 3 times now. So when I originally moved to Germany, 1, then I moved back to the States in a new state, 2, and now I've moved back to Germany, same location, but everything is different, 3. And I can tell you it does not get easier. If anything, honestly, I think it gets harder because, you're older, you know what you want in life, you know the direction you want to go, but it doesn't happen. So that is the hard truth of living abroad. You're alone. You do make friends and it gets easier living abroad at times, but there are moments when you are literally up against the wall and you feel so alone and you do not have that support system that you would normally have, and it does take a toll on you. So I don't know what this video is about, but I just pretty much want to be honest. It's not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart to move abroad. You definitely need a support system and the people that are with you to help you. Really cherish them, because it takes a lot out of a person. It is not easy. The paperwork, especially in Germany, the paperwork in and of itself is not easy. The visa process can take months. The job process can take months, and you are expected to provide for yourself at this time. I remember when I was looking for jobs and stuff like that, I had just gotten fired from a job here in Germany, and I used my last paycheck to pay my rent for the month. And whatever I had left over, I was like, this is it. If I can't find a job to sustain myself and to, buy food, like, by the grace of God, I was babysitting a little bit, and I had friends who would feed me. Like, I was dirt poor, and I found a job the third week of rent being due, and I was able to pay my rent, and provide for myself. And it is tough times, and I've been doing this for 10 years now, living abroad and going back and forth and traveling and things like that. And I have, honestly, like, a wealth of information of surviving. Like, I'm not someone who has a backup plan of finances. Like, this is it. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to figure it out. And that is life, So, yeah. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That didn't make any sense. But, yeah, I guess that is it. I hope you guys get something out of this. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Subscribe. I'm going to try to be more consistent with my videos. Subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so you know when I upload. And I look forward to being back on here. I took a very long break because life happens. And, life happens. But I'm back, recovering, back at this, trying to figure life out at age 31 again. Lord help me. And, yeah. Deuces. Bye.